Good evening, race fans, and welcome. For the first time ever out of the States, we are coming to you from Japan at the Fast and Furious Okayama Speedway, and alongside me, my broadcasting partner, Mr. Kelly Dahl. Kelly, we are at a racetrack that not only are we turning left this week, we're also going to have to turn right.
Yeah, this is one that I've been looking forward to for a while because it is going to shake things up quite a bit, and I didn't know what to expect driving these cars on a road circuit, so I decided to take it out for a spin myself, and these things are actually a blast around a road course. You've got to be gentle with the throttle. That back end is wanting to step out a little bit. The brakes are not the best, but they're not terrible, and once the car actually gets the tires up to temperature, the thing really motors around one of these road courses.
And we watched it, and I tell you, these drivers are going to be tested to the end here tonight. Would not want to be Mr. Bryan Hacker, who picked up the win 1 week ago. Having to start tail at the end of the night. 20 laps of relatively short distance. A lap time roughly 120 to a minute 30 per lap. And only 20 laps here tonight, so not a lot of time, a lot of real estate to get around, but not a lot of time to get from the back to the front. And his championship rival, Mr. Guillaume Fortin, he was set fast time in practice. As we take a look here, and we want to thank you all for tuning on in here tonight to the Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Series. And for over 20 years, Renu Sealcoating has been protecting and maintaining southern Wisconsin's driveways, parking lots, and playgrounds. With over 75 years of combined asphalt expertise, they treat every customer like family, and they stand by their work every time. Whether it's your home driveway or a mega store parking lot, Renu Sealcoating has you covered. Call them today at 608-576-7897 or visit them online at renewsealcoating.com for a quote today. And right now we are getting ready to go into mad plowing qualifying. Right now we're going to set the field as tonight's Fast Time Award is brought to you by Mad Plowing, proud sponsors of speed. Whether it's clearing snow in the winter or keeping lawns sharp in the summer, Mad Plowing gets the job done fast and efficiently. Serving Oregon, Wisconsin, and the surrounding areas, they are the trusted name for all your landscaping needs. Call them today at 608-217-3528 and let Mad Plowing show you the meaning of speed. And Kelly, qualifying out onto the racetrack right now, we got a couple guys trying to put their first lap in. Who you got your eyes on right now as they work around here for Mad Plowing qualifying?
Watching Josh Nelms right now entering into the hairpin, and those front tires will want to lock up as you get hard on the brakes, and that is probably the hardest braking zone on this track. You got the longest straightaway right into one of the sharpest turns, and you come into that fun little twin left-handers here, and that's going to set him up towards the last two hairpins that lead into the final section of this course. I'll see how Josh Nelms is able to manage these. He's going to have to keep it nice and tight. You want to keep it tight on exit to open up the entry into that next corner, and that is exactly what he does. Nelms now coming around. He's got two more corners to go, and these corners look sharp, but they're actually fairly fast. Just a little lift here in the second to last corner. Maybe a little touch on the brakes here getting into the final turn. And he's a little wide. Oh, almost going off the racetrack there, coming onto the front straightaway. But our first few times are going to be coming up on the board here. And let's see where Nelms is going to be. Adam Gable going to set the first lap time with a 1:37.7. Dan Janjanin a 1:40.0. Nelms a 1:40.9. So a little slower than what we saw in our practice sessions. But these tires do take at least 3 laps, I'd say, to get up to full temperature. That's at least kind of what I was seeing when I was driving this car.
And Philip Martin, now Dante Curtis going to the top spot with a 1:36.6 second lap time. He tops the speed chart so far here in Mad Plowing. Qualifying, Scott Austin, 5th quick with a 1:38.2. Dustin Shepard in the 89 car. He was fast in practice trying to get a lap in with his number 89.
Dante Curtis looks like he went wide in one of the turns here, so he is not going to put in a second lap. He got a off track, so that lap will not count. He is done. So that's unfortunate for him, because I think the second lap is going to be faster for a lot of these guys as the tires start to get up the temperature. Matt Hackathorn going to go second fastest with a 37.0. Let's see if he can cut 0.4 of a second off and go after Dante Curtis.
Shepard to the top of the 136.16 now, as we go back to Matt Hackathorn, who's working through, I believe those were the S's, or what I consider the S's, and he's hard into the turn here up at the north side of the racetrack.
Yeah, coming now into turn 4 is Dustin Shepard. He is barely ahead of Bryan Hacker, who put down a 36.196. So these guys are going hard. There's only been one time that was faster in practice. That was Guillaume Fortin with a 35.8. He has not taken a lap yet. Guillaume, I think he's done a first lap and he was not scored, and now possibly did not. Oh no, there it is. Goes 35.7. Guillaume Fortin goes to the top of the board.
Top of the board for the driver out of Quebec in that number 13 QC. Is right now he working up through turns 2 and 3, headed to turn number 4. Up here on the north side of this racetrack, and tell you, beautiful scenery around here, Kelly. We did a little bit of exploring today as we were setting up our cameras through here, and a very long back straightaway, and this is going to set up, I think, some passing zones up through a little bit of a kink, and then you get down here in the turn number 5, which is a hard right-hander.
And you can pass nearly every corner here on this track. It is fantastic for racing, but like you said, the best spot to pass is turn 5, but you have to be confident with those brakes. You have to know when you can brake, how much pressure you can apply, because those fronts especially will want to lock up on you. So drivers may be adjusting the brake bias a little bit going into turn 5, and that may allow that car to free up a little bit, get around that corner. One of my favorite corners on this track is actually turn 4. It's a fairly interesting increasing radius turn. You kind of come into turn 4, it's nice and banked. You get on the brakes hard and apex early, and then you kind of wash out with the banking as you get on the accelerator.
Guillaume Fortin going to come across the line. Does he improve on his second lap? And he does not. Dylan Connor out there, and I believe the only last driver up there on the racetrack is the 20 of Justin McDuff, the driver out of Buffalo, New York. As he works down here in the turn number 8, and then up the hill to 9. He gets a little bit sideways there. And Kelly, what are these drivers going to face here with no full course yellow flags here tonight? These drivers are going to have to keep these tires underneath them, keep the car underneath them, because if they get into trouble, their night is going to become very long.
Yeah, these drivers are going to have to keep it consistent, because there will be no full course cautions to save them. So if they make a mistake, go off track, there's going to be nothing that'll bring them back into the field. And like you said, they're going to have to make these tires last, and not only with the wear, but the temperature. It'll be very easy to overheat them, especially early on. And you want to kind of bring them up to temperature gently and keep them at that optimal temperature, because you don't have too much time to let them cool off either with how short a lot of these straightaways are.
It definitely will, as now qualifying has come to an end, and we are going to head into the RC2 Graphic Solutions redraw. Remember, RC2 Graphic Solutions is your place that you would like to go, and tonight's presenting sponsor of the redraw. Your go-to source for professional graphic design, specializing in the racing industry, from season schedules and event flyers to winter graphics and social media content. We deliver high-quality graphics that make your league or event stand out. Need custom graphics? Not a problem. Contact them today at rc2graphicsolutions@gmail.com or find them on Facebook at RC2 Graphic Solutions. RC2 Graphic Solutions, your events, our designs. And that is what we are headed into, Kelly. One of our favorite parts of the night. We get to find out where these drivers are going to be starting tonight.
Yeah, going to be going into the redraw here. Everyone's filing into the green room. I think we're ready to go. So let's pull up our first driver of the night, and that, I believe, is going to be Guillaume Fortin. And Guillaume, you're fast on the ovals, fast on the road courses. I mean, how much road course driving do you do outside of this event?
In the late model stock, pretty much none. But I like road course, so it's a fun event to do.
All right, well, that means tonight you have the full pick of the redraw. Are you expecting the starting position to be a big factor tonight?
I don't think so. I think it's all going to be about just staying consistent, hitting lap time throughout the race.
All right, well, 1 through 8, that's your choice. What would you like to take tonight?
I'll go with number 5.
Number 5 coming off the board, and that means you're going to drop back a little bit. You will be starting in P number 7, so still on the inside going into turn 1, but like you said, you think it's just all about that consistency tonight, so...
Yeah, I think so. Staying clean and being consistent all over the 20 laps, it's going to be the best thing tonight.
All right, well, good luck to you, Guillaume, and hopefully you can turn that 7th place starting spot into a 1st place finish.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
So Guillaume Fortin, our fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, but he'll be rolling off in 7th. So now to you, Al, for our next driver on the redraw.
Yeah, we're catching up with the owner and driver of the ZooFab Garage number 89, and Dustin Shepard. Another week, same thing. You're in the RC2 Graphic Solutions Top 8 redraw. The poll is still out there, but man, welcome to Japan. What's your first thoughts of this place, and especially running in this late model stock car?
It's beautiful. The mountains and the scenery is nice. It's a little different than practice last night. We were, at sunset and cloudy and foggy. We couldn't see nothing in practice last night. The track's a lot warmer and slicker now. But no, I said it's very it's gorgeous out here.
It definitely is, and I can tell you that number 5 has been chosen off of the board here in the RC2 Graphic Solutions redraw. You had the pick of the litter besides number 5. What number would you like to pull out of the hat here?
Let's go with 3. Maybe one day it'll help me out here.
Number 3 coming up off the board and out of the hat, and it's going to be outside pole. P number 2 for Dustin Shepard.
I will take that.
That's your best pick, I think, of the season.
Yes, that's my best draw. Yes.
Well,
usually 3 nets me 8. So.
well, you got a fast hot rod here. What's it going to take to stay up front?
G is just faster than everybody else on this slick track. Like I said, I mean, don't know if we're gonna pit or not, or it's about saving tires, and because it's a sprint race. So, but you could cut it in half and pit and try to gain something. Just don't know yet.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Keeping the tires under it though.
We're gonna find out. Keep it on the asphalt. That's the name of the game here. A lot of sand and gravel. Best of luck here tonight, and we look forward to seeing what you can do with that 89 car.
All right, thank you.
Dustin Shepard going to roll off in P number 2. Kelly, I believe you've caught up with the driver of the number 03, Mr. Dante Curtis.
Yeah, here now. Oh, and now we got him. Here now with Dante Curtis. And Dante, have you ever driven the late model stock around a road course before tonight?
0 laps.
Well, I don't know if you're enjoying it. I enjoyed my laps around here in warm-up. So what do you think of this?
I think it's pretty tricky. I'm struggling a little bit on the brakes, getting into the corner, but hopefully after 20 laps, maybe we can figure something out.
Well, number 5 and number 3 have been taken. So other than that, what would you like to choose here tonight?
Why don't we take 4?
All right, number 4 coming off the board. That means you are going to be starting in P number 4. So dropping back just a little bit, one spot, basically just shuffling over to the outside. Do you think that's really going to make that much of a difference here tonight?
After about a couple laps, everything will probably play out and single file out, and hopefully it's pretty uneventful, and we can just ride here and not off track and DQ our way to a DNF.
Well, hopefully you can keep it on the black stuff and keep those tires underneath you. Good luck to you here tonight, Dante.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
So Dante Curtis going to be rolling off in P4, but we're going to keep it moving. Al, I believe, is now going to be with Philip Martin.
Yeah, here with the driver of the DCD number 46 and Philip Martin, and back in the RC2 Graphic Solutions redraw at a track that, well, I believe this might be a first to late model stocks on a road course. What's your first thoughts of this place?
It's pretty fun. It's got a decent rhythm to it, but the weather's starting to change. We were 102 in practice, and now it's 86, so it's constantly changing a lot now.
Up here in the beautiful mountains of Okayama, and well, 3, 4, and 5 are off the board. What number would you like? You can choose 1, 2, 6, 7, or 8.
We'll go 2.
Number 2 coming off the board, and that is going to be P number 8. So starting 8th on tonight's grid, what's it going to take to get up towards the front?
Just staying on track. That's going to be the biggest thing.
We wish you the best of luck here tonight, Philip, and we look to see what this green hot rod has in store for you.
Thanks, guys.
Philip Martin, Kelly, going to start in P number 8 here tonight.
Yeah, rough start for Philip Martin, but we're going to keep moving it along for our next driver. I believe is going to be Matt Hackathorn. Here now with Matt Hackathorn, and you were the 6th fastest in qualifying. Do you think the qualifying is really going to matter here tonight? A lot of drivers are saying that it's going to be all about the consistency.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of curbing, so it'd be really easy to get your tires off in a brake zone. That's what I did on my fast lap in qualifying. But I think it's going to matter somewhat, at least for if you think you can be competitive up front and you get stuck towards the back, trying to work through the field, because there's a lot of passing zones, but there's no real diving, I feel.
Well, we have got numbers 1, 6, 7, and 8 still up on the board. What would you like to take tonight? The poll is still out there.
Let's go 6 for 6.
Well, you say 6 for 6, and 6 is going to get you 6. So a 6th place starting spot for you, and you basically just start exactly where you qualify. How are you feeling about that one?
Pretty par for the course for the year. I don't think I've ever started in front of where I qualified, so just ride it out and see what happens and hope people make mistakes in front of me.
Well, hopefully, even if you don't start ahead of where you qualify, hopefully you can finish ahead of where you qualify, and maybe we'll be talking to you later. So good luck to you, Matt.
Appreciate it.
So Matt Hackathorn qualifies 6, chooses number 6, and will be starting in 6 here tonight. And Al, who we got next?
Up next, we got the driver of the Austin Designs number 5, Mr. Scott Austin, in the RC2 Graphic Solution redraw. Scott, not a lot of time here, but this track proven to be pretty tricky, but you're not no slouch there. What's it going to take to get this number 5 in victory lane here tonight?
I think we're going to keep it simple, do the same thing we do every week, just keep it clean. I think some of the guys that have raw speed will, kind of take care of themselves, so we'll keep it on track and hopefully move forward.
All right, well, we got some good news for you. You got 3 numbers left to choose from, 1, 7, and 8. The poll is still available out there, so that's still hanging out there. What number would you like out of the hat?
Let's take lucky number 7.
Number 7 coming off the board and out of the hat, and that's going to be P number 3. So starting in that 3rd spot for you tonight, Scott. Best of luck, I guess. Well, hopefully, I don't want to jinx you. I don't want to talk too much because every time I talk about you, it seems like it's bad juju. So I'm going to ignore you tonight.
Well, I appreciate your patience. Good luck tonight, guys.
Good luck, Scott. Scott Austin going to start there in P number 3 here tonight at Okayama. Now, up next is another Austin Designs number 91. It is Adam Gable.
Yeah, here now with Adam Gable. And Adam, we don't have much time, but the good news is you have a 50-50 chance at the pole. You're either going to be starting in pole or in P5. So your choices are 1 or 8. What would you like here tonight?
8.
Number 8, and unfortunately that is the wrong side of the coin in your coin flip. You'll be starting in P5. Do you think you have a good chance from back there, though?
Maybe. We'll see how tonight goes.
All right, well, good luck to you, Adam, and hopefully we'll be talking to you later.
All right, thanks.
All right, so that is Adam Gable going to be rolling off in P5. So, Al, would you like to tell Justin McDuff where he's starting?
I will. I'll talk to the driver of the number 20 from Buffalo. This is Justin McDuff. And Justin, you're on the pole.
Oh, great. Well, take it.
What's it going to take to keep it up there? This track seeming to be a little difficult, a little slick we're hearing, but temperatures continue to drop. What are you expecting out of this 20-lap feature coming up?
Well, my goal mainly was just to keep on the track. I think if you can do that, you're going to have a pretty good night. But obviously now I have the best track position to start. Some of these guys are just really fast. I mean, they're fast everywhere. Guys like G. I know Brian coming from the back. I know Philip is really fast as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But I'm just going to try to run my race and take care of my tires and let the cards fall where they may.
Well, congratulations on being the last one to draw, and you got the pole. How's that feel? You know, it's a pretty good deal. We look forward to see what this 20 car will do here tonight. Best of luck in the feature. It will be coming up next.
Thanks. Enjoy the race.
So Justin McDuff going to be on the pole for tonight's race, Kelly, and that is going to be a pretty exciting race here, and we want to thank RC2 Graphic Solutions for being our redraw sponsor. And just like that, we are ready to go racing here for 20 laps at the Okayama International Circuit. A beautiful setting here. You can see the mountains behind and the beautiful setting. A packed house. I tell you, these the nationals here, the people of Japan are supporting the North-South Racing League. They have come out in groves of people, but this is your starting lineup for tonight's main event. Your top 8. Justin McDuff will start on the pole. Outside of him will be the number 89 of Dustin Shepard. Scott Austin and Dante Curtis will make up row number 2. Adam Gable and Matt Hackathorn will make up row number 3. Guillaume Fortin in row number 4. Our starting 7th, and Philip Martin in P number 8. Justin McDuff and Rob Doninson will make up row number 5, and Travis Hoffler and Dylan Connor will round out your top 6 rows.
Then we're going to have Braden Campbell starting in 13th. Dan Jan will be alongside him in 14th. Chad McLeod rolls off in 15th. 16th will be the 60 of Amos Odegaard. Josh Nelms rolls off 17th. Matt Cook in 18th. Scott Negus in 19th. Jeff Bergner gets a drop to the back. He'll be starting in 20th. Rodney Huntoon 21st. And then we'll have Bryan Hacker joining them with his winner's penalty.
So Bryan Hacker will start there in P number 21st. 21 cars coming out here for the Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Tour. First time out of the States, international flavor here tonight as the field rolls through up towards the north end of the racetrack. We are ready to go. This is heading into the last corner, which is corner number 11. 11 turns left and right. We hope you are ready to go racing here for the Rising Sun 20 as they roll down the front stretch. Green flag is up, and we are underway in Japan.
All those V8s roaring down into turn number 1. Everyone keeping it in line, but now cars spreading out all over the place. Everyone fighting for that inside line into turn 1. The 89 car of Dustin Shepard getting a good run on the outside. He will take over the race lead. Now Justin McDuff is under fire there as he has got another driver up to his inside. Looks like Dante Curtis trying to get himself up there to second. Not going to quite work. He's going to have to drop down. Now coming into one of the hardest braking zones on the track into turn 4. Dustin Shepard holding on to a great lead so far. I'm hearing contact a little further back, but looks like all these drivers still pointed in the right direction for now.
Everybody in there, and already Guillaume Fortin up to P number 5 as they work down here into the corner. This is a very hard corner. This is, they call it Hobbs corner, or hairpin corner, excuse me, as they work down here through turns 6 to 7, working into turn 8. So we watch Dante Curtis, a little bit of action behind them. Travis Hoffler, Dan Janjanin working his way up through the field. Right there behind him, the number 2 of Bryan Hacker. Remember Hacker. Oh, one car off the racetrack. That is the 5 of Scott Austin. And he is buried in the sand. He's able to get going, but heavy right front damage. And the car's smoking for the 5 of Scott Austin.
Yeah, it looks like he just missed his braking point, sailed off there into turn 8, and that engine is gone. He is done for the night. He is in the pits. But we got a battle for second place now. Dante Curtis trying to make a move on the inside of Justin McDuff, and following him through is Guillaume Fortin. He's trying to see if he can get himself into that inside line. He will. Justin McDuff having to get a little bit sideways on the dirty line on the exit, or on the outside of turn 1, and he is going to lose 2 spots right there in one corner. Now Guillaume Fortin pressuring Dante Curtis as they all have to try to chase down Dustin Shepard, who has already opened up a 2.3 second lead over that first lap.
Yeah, he is really making it open up right now. And remember, only local yellows only. And what does that mean? That means there's no full course yellow flags. As right now, here comes the 13 QC. He's going to try to work down to the inside as they get into the hairpin corner. This is going to be corner number 5 that there, and up the racetrack Curtis goes, and Guillaume will move into P number 2. As they work there, you can see where all your race cars are. You see them all batched up right there on the track map.
And that right there just showed how hard the hairpin is, as Curtis got a little bit too late on the brakes, sailed it in deep, and just gave a wide open berth for Guillaume Fortin to get himself through. And it is now official. Scott Austin has pulled it behind the wall after that impact into the turn 8 wall that had destroyed the engine on that machine. So unfortunate for Scott Austin.
Last week's winner, can he make it a three-peat? Bryan Hacker up to 10th already in just a matter of 2 laps. He's up there behind the RC2 graphic solution number 7 of Travis Hoffler. Hoffler doing a good job running in there. Philip Martin, though, just getting around the 20 of Justin McDuff. And everybody trying to mind their own P's and Q's. Rob Donitson was a little bit high. Here comes the red number 55 of Scott Negus. And Negus trying to work his way towards the front. He's already up 7 spots still, Kelly, from the back of the field.
Yeah, and he's applying a lot of pressure right now to Rob Donaldson. And oh, they're both going to lock it up and go deep into the corner. And that's going to allow Dan Janjan to just sneak right through. He will happily take those 2 places, as he doesn't even have to fight for them. Now Scott Negus having to recover from that, as Dustin Shepard's lead is shrinking. It's now down under a 1.5 seconds as Guillaume Fortin is on a charge. And he was fastest in practice, fastest in qualifying, fastest in warm-up. Each one of those laps getting quicker and quicker because the track temperature has been falling. I think when we went live on the broadcast, it was over 90 degrees. Now it's down to 82, so you're getting a lot more grip, and that's going to allow these guys to go a little bit deeper in the corner, get a little more power out of the turns, and that is allowing Guillaume Fortin to keep taking time off of his lap time.
He's doing a good job right now as they work off of turn number 11 and down the front stretch. And they have a good down to 1.2 second lead. Dante Curtis is 3rd, Hackathorn 4th, Martin in the 5th spot, 6th spot to Justin McDuff, Adam Gable, Dylan Connor, Bryan Hacker, and Travis Hoffler, your top 10.
And we got a battle here shaping up for 5th place as for 4th place, as Philip Martin is applying a lot of pressure to Hackathorn. Hackathorn getting a good run through turn 2 though, and that's going to carry a lot of speed through the Moss S and allow him to get a good gap going into turn 4 here, as it looks like they're actually been closing up to Dante Curtis a little bit. I mean, Curtis was faster than Hackathorn in qualifying, but and both Hackathorn and Martin, but it looks like those guys are starting to close that gap, as Guillaume Fortin now is underneath 0.5 seconds. So we are going to have a battle for the race lead in here now, as the 89 of Shepard gets a little loose coming out of the S's, or out of the hairpin, and he throws a block there into turn 6, and now Guillaume having to slot in behind him, set up his run possibly down into turn 8 here. Is he going to make the move? He's shading out a little bit, going to stay behind for now, as he does not want to make that move just yet. But he's going to be right on top of Shepard, who seems to be struggling with that rear end grip. He may have lit up those rears too many times, and down now just has overheated rear tires.
Yeah, another time it looked like maybe the 13 maybe giving a little bit of a shot to the rear bumper as they work into the right-hander turn 11, the last corner before they come down here, down the front stretch. as they will work down here. Shepard will lead at 16 laps to go, but Guillaume Fortin right there all over the back side of him. And Fortin really was looking forward to this one last week as well, Kelly. Really likes the road racing, and as you alluded to when you took the Turn 3 test car out, this track a lot of fun with the late model stocks.
Yeah, I did not know what to expect in this car, and it is a blast to drive this thing around here. It's tricky to drive, but it's really manageable. As actually Shepard makes a mistake there a little bit going through turn 4, and that is going to allow an opportunity for Guillaume Fortin coming down the back straightaway. He's going to get a little bit of draft here and then move to the inside. He's going to try to throw it up the inside going to the hairpin. This may be the move for the race lead here. He's getting hard on the brakes, having to manage that lockup. Gets into the door of the 89 of Shepard, and they're going to stay side by side here coming into turn number 6. And Guillaume going to go a little wide, still hangs on turn 7 now, and that's going to allow Shepard to work on the inside. Guillaume carrying a good amount of speed on the outside, though. He may get clear here coming now into turn 8, but Shepard going to throw it up the inside once again. These guys just crossing each other over each time, as now Guillaume has the inside for the next turn on those double hairpins. Oh, he's going to slide it out on the power as he gets on the power. And that is going to allow Shepard to hold on to the race lead for a little longer. Guillaume has to set up a good launch out of this final turn, as this is turn 1 is a good opportunity to pass, but Shepard with a good exit there, and I think he will hold off Guillaume going to turn 1 now.
And as those two battled it in, it brought Dante Curtis now back within 3 seconds of that race lead. And we got action. Rodney Huntoon in trouble as we watch this battle for the race lead. It's kind of settled down for the moment, but our cameras will stay glued to it. But I tell you, the battle from 6 on back really starting to stack them up. Bryan Hacker up to the 8th spot. Now he will pressure Connor and McDuff. And then he's got a little bit of ground to make up if he wants to try to catch up inside the top 5.
Yeah, he's going to throw it up the inside. So is Gable, and that's going to allow them both to get around Dylan Connor. As we are going to keep one eye on the ticker for the race lead. We don't want to miss that, but Bryan Hacker has now moved himself up even further here. He's just behind Justin McDuff, so he's up to P7, as he had a great run through turn 4 there.
Yeah, he's really methodically worked his way up through, and he was relatively fast in last night's practice and tonight's practice qualifying session. He qualified inside the top 8, but in lieu of his win 1 week ago, was unable to participate in the RC2 Graphic Solution redraw here tonight for the Renu Sealcoating late model stock division. And be remiss if I did miss out, but tonight's is Ram Racing Concepts Rising Sun 20. So we thank Ram Racing Concepts for being tonight's presenting sponsor of our trip overseas to Japan. Is Dustin Shepard still holds on, but now Bryan Hacker all over the backside of Justin McDuff. And then McDuff, last 2 weeks, fast race cars, just not lady luck on his side. Bryan Hacker peeks to the inside, and McDuff will go in a little bit wide up here and lets the 2 on by. And here comes now the 91 of Gable. Wasn't too close, wasn't able to do that as we go back up towards the race lead. Guillaume Fortin on the back bumper of Dustin Shepard off of turn number 4.
This is another good opportunity for Guillaume as he got a good launch out of 4, but so did Shepard. Guillaume's going to have the draft here. He's going to try to outbreak him into the hairpin. He is going to move to the inside, going to think better of it. He's going to hope that the 89 is going to outbreak himself, but he doesn't. So great control from Dustin Shepard as he is just ignoring Guillaume Fortin right for now. Those cars dancing through turn 6 and turn 7 as the back end does have a good amount of grip, but if you get just a little too much throttle there, that grip suddenly will go away on you. So this car requiring a lot of throttle control here on this road course, as Guillaume is going to go really wide through that first hairpin of the back-to-back hairpins of 8 and 9, and that's going to give Shepard a good run out of 9 here and into the final 2 corners. Again, this last corner very important. They can set up a pass into 1. I think Shepard's going to have the advantage as he had a bit of a wider entry. Guillaume really extended that exit though. So these 2 drivers still going to be even up basically over these lap times coming across the line here. And you'll see, yeah, both of them running a 36.8.
Yeah, last time I take a look there is all very close. Guillaume Fortin just maybe a little of a tick click quicker than Dustin Shepard, but they are still the fastest cars on the racetrack right now. Josh Nelm's in trouble as Fortin takes a look to the outside down here in the turns 4, and he is on the back bumper and gets a good launch once again up. He's going to get to the right side. Is that what Fortin needed? Guillaume Fortin to the outside of the 89 of Dustin Shepard through the kink and now into turn number 5.
Oh, and Shepard locks it up, and he's going to go a little sideways, somehow recovers, but that's going to give Guillaume Fortin the advantage he needed. He's going to get clear, essentially. Yeah, he's going to be clear now through turn 6. So Guillaume Fortin takes the race lead. Dustin Shepard now dealing with overheated tires. He's going to lose a lot of ground, and now Guillaume is free and clear. He has got over basically 12 laps to extend that lead as much as possible and try to run away from Dustin Shepard and the rest of the field.
Yeah, and right now they have a decent gap. There's about 3 seconds back to Dante Curtis as they all work here. As we look a little bit deeper in the field, the 93 of the Renu Sealcoating entry. That's the 93 of Chad McLeod as he has moved his way up to the 15th spot, just getting around Jeff Bergner in the 21 automobile. Battle shaping up for the 8th spot, Kelly, is Dylan Connor trying to apply some pressure to the 91 of Adam Gable and Travis Hoffler right there as well. So 4 cars underneath a blanket down in the turn number 1.
Oh, problems for Travis Hoffler. He goes sailing off into turn 1. He's in the dirt, going to keep it off the wall, get back onto the track, but he's going to bring a lot of dirt along with him as well as on the tires. He's going to have to skate around those next few corners. We've got a battle shaping up for the podium position, though. Dante Curtis, he has been caught by Matt Hackathorn, who has brought Philip Martin along with him. Now coming down into the hairpin. Still not quite there for Hackathorn. He's going to have to settle in behind Dante Curtis for now, but this battle is going to be heating up here over these next few laps.
The question is when do you have to pit here, Kelly? We know 20 laps, not a long distance, but we heard it a few times in our pre-race show and talking to the drivers during the RC2 Graphic Solution redraw that they are going to have to pit at some point here tonight. When is too soon and when is too late? That's what we're going to find out, and that could really shake things up here in tonight's Rising Sun 20 presented by Ram Racing Concepts. They come up off the corner down the front stretch, and Curtis able to regain that distance between himself, Martin, and Bryan Hacker now can be on the same straightaways as these guys. How far can Bryan Hacker get up on the standings? That is what is known. Next time by will be 10 laps in, 10 laps to go.
Yeah, it's still a long way for Bryan Hacker, so this recovery drive so far is helping his points, but he is 13 seconds behind Guillaume, and I do not think he can gain over a second a lap on that 13 QC with how fast he's driving. Bryan Hacker, though, he's got a long ways to go. He's got 7 seconds up to Philip Martin, who is running a fairly quick time right now as he is trying to keep up with Hackathorn and Curtis. As Hackathorn is just basically applying the pressure that Dante Curtis right now can't quite close the gap to make a move, though, but they are also starting to catch up to that 89 machine of Dustin Shepard.
And the other thing you got to remember is the race track with the marbles and the dirt and the rubber and all that stuff, that is going to continually build as this race goes on, and that could get people into trouble as well as this one goes on, and they'll work up off the corner. Hackathorn takes a peek to the inside, nothing doing that time through turns 9, now headed to turn number 10, and some fast right-handers before coming down the home stretch.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of dirt on a few sections here of the track as a couple of these drivers have gone off. The cars will clear it off fairly quickly, but The track is now spread out quite a bit. We've got a few battles here going on. We've got a battle for third, as mentioned. We've got a battle for seventh, as well as actually Justin McDuff has just lost out on that. Adam Gable has taken it over, and he has got Dylan Connor trying to catch up with him right now. A little bit for, oh, we actually have some problems there. It looks like we've got a car spun. That is Jeff Bergener, and he's actually going to take the tow.
He takes the tow here as we look at the 15. Oh, the 33 of Braden Campbell. Campbell back in the 13th spot. He is trying to chase down one of our rookie contenders this season. That's the 55 of Scott Negus as they work there, and he gets a little bit wide. And you got to remember, Kelly, we do have an incident limit here tonight of 14 incident points. And that means that every time you go off racetrack, that's a point. You make contact with cars. iRacing gives a, well, whether it's 2 or 4. So you are on a clock there of also trying to stay in the race. You do not want to get one of those incident points out. As per the rule book, that will result in an EOL next week. As we head back to the States, we'll be in Maine at Oxford Plains for the Kendall Hacker Memorial in 1 week's time. And we do want to let you know there is still time to get in on that. We're raising money for a great cause as we support our good friend Bryan Hacker and his family after a tough loss of their daughter. Our thoughts and prayers out to the Hacker family. But you can reach on out to the North-South Racing League for more information on next week's race. We hope to have you be a part of it. You can win some money, but all in all, raising a money for a great cause and organizations that help families in time of need. And we really hope you can be a part of that here as we are on board with Dante Curtis. And he's starting to close in on Dustin Shepard.
Yeah, meanwhile, Guillaume Fortin has checked out. He has got almost a 6-second lead, and that last lap, he was a second faster than anyone else. As I think Dylan Connor just had a bit of an off-track moment. He is going to hang on to it. But, yeah, as you mentioned, Dante Curtis, he's still got 2 seconds back, but he's running fairly equal times to Dustin Shepard. Meanwhile, he's having the pressure of Matt Hackathorn chasing him down.
Yeah, Hackathorn having a good drive here so far in the 404 car. Right there behind the 03 of Dante Curtis. Philip Martin runs in the 5th spot, and they are about 6 seconds, well, 5.5 seconds in front of Bryan Hacker, who runs in that 6th spot. And remember, Kelly, like we said, no yellow flags to kind of tighten up the field here tonight. So, as we were just talking about, Philip Martin got a little bit loose. He's going to lose some ground.
He's going to lose a ton of ground as he just went from being on top of Matt Hackathorn to now he is about 3 seconds back. So nearly lost 3 full seconds from Matt Hackathorn just from that little spin as they're going to come across the line. That time a half a second advantage to Dante Curtis over Dustin Shepard. Meanwhile, once again, Guillaume Fortin a full second faster than everyone else.
Scott Negus having a little bit of an off-track excursion with the 55 now. Braden Campbell in the 33 car all over the back side of him. He's going to get to the inside as Negus's tires get cleaned off here with 8 laps to go. Your race leader working down into turn number 5. That hard right-hander, so you can see where your favorite driver is on the racetrack. You can see their numbers populating around there. And we are going to start getting into lap traffic with your race leader in a few laps with that battle for second now. It is shaping up here, 1 second separating Shepard, Curtis, and Hackathorn.
Yeah, pretty much a second between each of those 3 cars, a fairly equal group, but as soon as Hackathorn gets up to the bumper of Curtis, that is going to bring, as soon as Curtis gets to the bumper of Shepard, that's going to bring Hackathorn into it, and it's going to shape up into a 3-way battle. The only other battle we have got on the track, it is for 12th place as Braden Campbell gets around Negus, then goes wide in the hairpin. He is going to hang on to the spot, so he is going to move himself up into 12th as Negus spins those rear tires up through turn 6 and now has to maintain control of them through 7. We've got another car stopped. It looks like it is Dylan Connor as he got spun out of turn 9 there.
Yeah, Connor back onto the racetrack, but drops down to the 10th position, running overall. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to him as he was rolling up the racetrack. Just got loose, Kelly, off of turn number 4 there and looped it right in front of Justin McDuff and got it pointed back in the right direction and lost a couple spots there, but able to keep the car. No damage on that race car, so he's able to race forward once again.
Scott Negus still trying to chase down Braden Campbell as our closest battle here as they go into turn 2. Looks like Negus was a little wide on the entry, going to get wide on exit as well, so he'll thank... Oh, we got another car stopped in the... Oh, he's Justin McDuff. He is sideways in turn 4. Almost completely blocking the track. He's now going to get himself moving once again as, whoa, Braden Campbell having to take some avoiding action. Him and Scott Negus are going to get through nice and clean and be able to continue on their battle, but that is unfortunate for Justin McDuff, who's going to lose another spot as Rob Donaldson comes through.
Yeah, tough break for our pole sitter here tonight as he has fallen back to that 14th position as they all work through here and then through turns 5, 6, and 7. But meanwhile, that battle for second starting to shape up, and Bryan Hacker within 5 seconds now with Philip Martin as Dante Curtis really trying to put the pressure, run away from Hackathorn. About equally distanced between those three. Then you got a little bit back to the 46 of Philip Martin. Really good.
Yeah, and once these guys start fighting for second, that is going to bring Bryan Hacker at least a little bit closer. And we'll have to see if Dante Curtis is going to be able to close that gap the rest of the way. He has been slowly chipping away at that as Amos Odegaard has a little bit of an off-track excursion between 6 and 7. He is going to stay pointed in the right direction, but that might bring some dirt onto the racetrack as our battle for second is reaching that point here as they're dealing with some dirt on the exit of turn 5, the hairpin. And now they're going to come through. Yeah, a little bit of a slide there for Shepard, it almost looked like, as the dirt is flying all over the place.
Yeah, they are cleaning it up. They're trying to keep these tires on there, Kelly. And I would say you are probably our road race ringer here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with the new tire models and the marbles and all that. How difficult is this getting for these drivers on tires that are now almost 15 laps old? They've got marbles on them. They've been on and off the track. They've been sliding. How difficult are these cars starting to become for these drivers to keep underneath them?
Well, the dirt on the tires should be cleared in really not too much of distance. Like, they just have to make another corner or two, and then the dirt should be cleared off. But if you are pretty much on the limit of grip and then hit a big patch of dirt when you're not expecting it, that could cause your car to go out. But the big thing is just keeping those tires under temperature, because these guys have no opportunity to change them. And this track only has really that one really long straight and a little bit of a shorter one on the front stretch there. And that's pretty much your only opportunity to let the tires cool off. So with how much these tires want to spin up when you get on the throttle, it's fairly difficult, and it's going to come down to really the right foot of these drivers.
Now battle shaping up for third is Curtis feeling the pressure once again from Hackathorn, and Curtis up the racetrack. Hackathorn down low. Is he going to be able to make the move? He cannot as they enter turns 7 and 8. That was the best look Hackathorn has had in quite a few laps there. Already going to be 4 laps to go this time off of turn 11 for the driver to the 13. QC Guillaume Fortin, he's checked out, Kelly. He's left the keys on the counter and he is just checked out.
Yeah, he's having to deal with a little bit of lap traffic these last few laps here, but he has got a 10-second lead over second place. Going into turn 1 now, I saw a little bit of dirt down there earlier. Let's see if it's going to affect him a little. He is going to slide a bit, but he is going to make it through turn 1 nice and safe. Now let's see our battle for second place coming through turn 1 as they are going to go a little wide here. Is Dustin Shepard going to get through those all that dirt and gravel? Now through 2, he's going to maintain his spot over Curtis. Curtis gets a great exit out of 2, and he's going to have a good run now into 4. We'll see. He's going to take a look. Not quite going to have the gap that he needs to make that lunge for the spot, but Dante Curtis has closed up the gap to Dustin Shepard, but we saw even Guillaume Fortin had trouble getting around Dustin Shepard. Is Shepard who gets a good launch out of the corners that you need to launch out of that line that lead into those long straightaways.
That you do, and they lock them up once again down into turn number 5, and now into 6. Meanwhile, Bryan Hacker chipping away there on the backside of the 46 car. He is trying. He did tell me a little bit earlier when I was down doing my garage walk, Kelly, that he was just hoping for a top 10 here tonight. Wasn't really sure what to expect with half in the start last. He knew there was no yellow flags to bunch the field back up, and knew it was going to be a tall task to make it a three-peat, but was so the top 10 would be a win. Right now, he's trying to knock on that door for a top 5 as the battle for...
Whoa. There's a spin right in front of our battle for second place as Josh Nelms goes around and is now going backwards through the gravel, trying to get himself turned back around. So, thankfully, he spun off the racing surface, and that allowed our second through fourth drivers to get through without any incident.
Able to get through, and that battle still rages on. Justin McDuff, though, working around Donitsen back to the 13th spot. The pass that just happened on the racetrack. As those two drivers still continue to battle it out. As a close battle on the racetrack.
Yeah, there's another one right in front of him. Scott Negus is going after Braden Campbell. Campbell just went off the track, and that's going to give Negus a good chance here down the front straightaway. He's going to have the run, going to have the inside line. He's going to slide himself up into 11th as long as he can hold the car through turn 1, and he is going to get clear. So Negus takes over 11th place once again, as those two have been swapping it back and forth a few times here tonight. Another battle is starting to shape up on the racetrack. That is between Dylan Connor and Travis Heffler. I think Connor just spun the tires coming out of turn 4, though.
Yeah, he is right there trying to make a move on Heffler, and he's lost a little bit of ground to him. Is that battle for second kind of is equaled out right now once again. Meanwhile, Guillaume Fortin working there. He gets the parallel flags. 2 laps to go as he works his way around the number 12 of Rodney Huntoon.
Yeah, if drivers are wanting to improve their position, it's going to have to be soon. Only 2 laps to go here in this race. As those 20 laps went by fast without any cautions to slow this race up a little bit. But this will allow these guys to go the whole distance on a single tank of fuel. As Dustin Shepard is going to continue to hold off Dante Curtis. He's opened that gap up once again. It's now 0.8 of a second. And now you have to start wondering, Matt Hackathorn has been kind of sitting there and waiting, allowing Dante Curtis to try to catch Shepard as we near our last few laps here. It may, maybe Matt Hackathorn is going to finally try to make that move to get up into third.
Yeah, he's going to try to push some pressure. Now here comes Curtis as well, as they work down here in the turns 5, that sharp right-hander. And I tell you, these 3 cars have really been underneath the blanket as they work through here in the 7 now to 8. And they are been racing each other hard on the road course, trying to force each other into a mistake. But Guillaume Fortin going to come up off of turn number 11 and stare down the long front stretch here at Okayama International Raceway, and the white silk will fly. Final trip in the Ram Racing car Rising Sun 20 here tonight, as Guillaume Fortin took the race lead with about 13 laps to go, and he is checked out to a 13.5 second lead. Kelly, and he is working up towards the S's and then in the turn number 4.
Yeah, and while he does that, our battle for second rages on here as Dante Curtis has closed up the gap to Shepard here over this last lap. Shepard didn't have a good run out of 4 last lap, and that allowed Curtis to close that gap. So let's see here. This is probably going to be one of the best opportunities for for Dante Curtis to take over second place. He's going to run a slightly different line. Oh, he's going to get a little loose coming off the corner. I think that's going to kill his exit speed. And now this is going to give Matt Hackathorn possibly an opportunity to try to make a move into turn number 5 here.
Here down into turn number 5, they will race the corner also known as Hairpin Corner. And they will work into there, then they'll head on into the Revolver Corner. And this is a really technical part of the racetrack. You gotta keep that car underneath you, knocking some dust. Here comes the 0-3 of Dante Curtis. But as we watch this battle off of turn number 10 and into turn number 11, the driver out of Quebec, the 13 QC, Guillaume Fortin, he is going to pick up the Rising Sun 20 victory lane here tonight. He'll dip down there past Barney, down the battle for second, who is going to finish on the podium into turn 11. And down the front stretch, Dustin Shepard will have a season best finish of second here tonight. Dante Curtis will hold on for third. Hackathorn will come home fourth. Philip Martin going to come home in P number 5. With Bryan Hacker, your current high point span, coming home in 6th.
We got a bit of a battle for 8th coming up here as Adam Gable is going to hold on to 7th. Dylan Connor going to see if he can get Travis Heffler here coming through the final turn. He's going to get hard on the throttle and spin those tires up. That's going to kill his run, so Heffler is going to hold on to the spot. 10th looks like it's going to be Dan Jan, and then we have our next little set of battle. Braden Campbell has got around Justin McDuff, and Rob Donaldson is trying to hold off Scott Negus coming through the last corner. Negus getting a good run as Donaldson gets loose off the turn. Is Negus going to have the run? He's not quite going to have enough space to make that last pass, so he's going to have to settle for 14th. I don't know what happened there because I thought he was leading that pack there. I thought he was ahead of Braden Campbell, but I guess running into some problems on the last few laps, so he will have to settle for 14th.
Wait, and now Chad McLeod comes across the racetrack. Matt Cook will come home in P number 16. And we see you guys out in the chat, Trading Paints is down. Is an issue with Trading Paints, so that's why you do not see the custom paints that you are accustomed to here tonight. Is this man, the 13 of Guillaume Fortin, gonna come back to the front stretch, and he is gonna burn it down for all these folks here out of Japan. And Kelly, they came out and they really supported this event here.
Yeah, this has been a great turnout for this event, and it's been a great event even with the huge lead that Guillaume had, and he had to battle for it though to get past Dustin Shepard, and then we pretty much watched Shepard, Curtis, and Hackathorn go at it for the rest of the race as they were right on top of each other the whole way. And there was battles all throughout the field that we were able to look through and enjoy, and for a first time at a road course here in the late model stock, I would consider it a success.
I would too. It was a very entertaining race all the way around here tonight. And just like that, we are going to head into our Zoo Fab Garage post-race show as we are headed down track side. And we'll kick the show off here tonight with talking to the man of the hour, Mr. Guillaume Fortin, as he gets unbuckled from the car. A little bit takes a drink of water, but Guillaume Fortin, your victor here tonight. Guillaume, tell us about your race.
Pretty smoothly there. Just like I said at the beginning, just staying consistent, hitting your lap, and just hoping that the guy in front of you make mistake and you can capitalize on it.
Talk about this race though. Very, very fast racetrack. How did the car feel? A lot of guys, weren't really sure what the thought about racing a late model stock that primarily is built to make left-hand turns. How did it feel to you out there tonight as you were able to obviously get the win after taking the race lead here on lap number 13 and never really looking back?
Yeah, the biggest thing was getting on power on corner exit of the slow corner. You had so much wheel spin if you were smashing the throttle, so the best thing was just to be patient and let the car roll. But Those cars are so fun on road course. They're amazing to race.
It looked like a good time out there. Obviously, out there, you stunk up the show, though. You couldn't have slowed down and made it interesting for us.
I was thinking about making a pit stop just for fun, but no, I need the point, and hopefully this win take us closer to Bryan in the standings. So hopefully we can have a great end of the year and maybe put on a show for the championship race.
Yeah, after tonight, we head up. We're going to head back to the States, obviously, and we are going to see as we head next to the Oxford Plains Speedway. So another tough racetrack for you, Guillaume, that you're going to have to start at the back of the field. But not only are we racing at Oxford next week, but we're racing for a good cause with the Kendall Hacker Memorial next week. What's your thoughts headed into Oxford and having to start at the tail of the field for tomorrow or for next Monday night's race?
Yeah, it's pretty special to race for a great cause. I know Brian's a great friend, and he had a tough time this year. So hopefully we can put up a show for him and just be racing for this great cause. It's amazing. But starting from the back, I think it's gonna be hard. But Oxford's been pretty fun in the past year or so. And there's now three groups. It's now a 3-groove racetrack. So hopefully it's gonna make it easier to pass from the back, but I'm just gonna stay clean and hopefully be at the front at the end of the race.
Well, congratulations on your I'll call it a dominant performance here tonight. You came in trailing Bryan. You're gonna gain some points on him here tonight. Who makes it all possible on this 13 QC to be here in Victory Lane?
Yeah, first of all the sponsor on our car are real life sponsor through the summer, so a big thank you to them. Also, a big thank to all the admin team at NSRL. It's always amazing to race on Monday night with this great group of guys, and you guys at Turn 3 for putting up this awesome show. Always fun to rewatch the broadcasts.
Well, congratulations, Guillaume, and thank you for the kind words. And we look forward to seeing what you can do next week, buddy. Congratulations on this win. Safe travels back home, and we'll see you in Oxford.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Guillaume Fortin, Kelly going to pick up that win in dominating fashion, and he took the race lead away from the driver that you're standing by that held on for second.
Yeah, caught up now with Dustin Shepard. And Dustin, it seemed like you had your hands full the last half of the race there. I mean, what was it like trying to focus on hitting all of your marks while you had the 03 filling up your rearview mirror? I don't know if we have Dustin. Dustin, have you got us?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we got you now.
Sorry, I guess my button's being bad. Yeah, I was I said I had connection issues the last handful of laps, so I was getting the packet loss flashing up and latency errors. So I was hitting the latency button, trying to make laps, trying to grab gears. It was pretty rough the last couple laps. So I didn't have anything for G anyway. G was in a whole nother area code, zip code, country, literally in another country tonight.
Well, it looked like the track kind of cooled off as the race went. Did you find it get a little bit easier to handle the car?
Oh, yes. I wish it would have been cooler the whole time, because as soon as the clouds came out towards the end, I could really manipulate the car with the brakes a lot better with the cooler track than I could the hot track. It just I could not pitch the car, make the car rotate the way I wanted to on the brake when it was hot and slick. And like I said, G was fantastic at that.
Well, it's probably the biggest jump in track disciplines that we're going to have this season. We go from the road course to the circle of Oxford. What are you expecting to see at that track there?
Tight racing. It's just going to be who can save the right front. And tight racing. They said there'll be a couple guys that if we have a full field, we'll be in a lap traffic quick. So it'll be trying to pass lappers and defend your position.
All right, Dustin. Well, thanks for coming out and talking to us. Before we let you go, though, we're going to give you the floor. Who would you like to thank for your second place run tonight?
Of course, all the admins at NSRL, all the drivers that make this league what it is. Said DC Designs for the paint job, J&J Hardwood for making sure I have all my computer equipment up and running, Tiger Cabinetry, Prestige Home Solutions, just everybody that helps me keep my computer up to pace, and of course Turn 3 Networking. You guys do a great job every week. We appreciate you very much. Yeah, man.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out and talking to us. Hopefully, we'll hear from you again at Oxford. And well, thankfully, you didn't actually win this race, so you don't have to go through the entire field there.
I would have rather won tonight than still have to start the back.
All right. Well, hopefully, we'll hear from you again in Oxford. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
That is Dustin Shepard, our second place finisher here tonight. Could not quite catch up to Guillaume Fortin, but he was able to hold off our next guy that we're going to be talking to.
Yeah, we're going to slide down here to the last and final rung on the podium, and it's Murphy, North Carolina's Dante Curtis. And Dante, you had a fast hot rod. You were trying to hold off Matt Hackathorn behind you and also chase down that 89 there. Talk to us about your race and your thoughts about turning left and right here at Okayama.
Yeah, I'm a fan of turning left and right. I love to run sports cars and stuff, but this is kind of a new experience with this car. So struggled a little bit and found out G's run these in a league before where it was a road course every week. So I can see why we got beat so bad. I told him if he wouldn't have showed up, we might have had a halfway decent race, between me, Dustin, and Matt. But it was good racing with Matt there. He kept the pressure on the whole time. I'd gain a little bit and fade a little bit and just yin and yang, and same with Dustin. We just all ended up there at about the same at the end.
What did you need out of this race car to maybe get a run and get a little bit better of a shot at maybe finishing in that number 2 spot, getting around Dustin?
Like I told him earlier, I just really needed to be better getting into the corner on the brakes. I don't know if it's the wheel settings or pedal settings or whatever, but just struggled a little bit getting in the corner and was locking up a lot. And talking with G there, he said the biggest thing was downshifting, so definitely where I struggled the most and was losing a lot of time. But I don't think it's going to take a couple of weeks of practice probably to catch up to where he's at.
Well, you're going to come out of here with a 3rd place finish. I know you're running a limited time schedule this season, but it's always a pleasure when we get to see this DCD 03 out onto the racetrack. And, well, when's the next time that we'll see you out here with the Renu Sealcoating late model stock tour?
Hopefully we'll be there next week at Oxford. It's a big race for one of the members in our league. A tough night probably for some, but it's going to be a special race, and hopefully we'll all have a couple special paint schemes there at Oxford to show our support.
We look forward to seeing that there, Dante. And we get back to, I'll call it our normal racing, but I hope that the powers at B within the North-South Racing League will throw another road course, because this was an absolute thriller and fun race to call and watch you guys race. I know G kind of, like you said, stunk up the show, but you guys put on a good show. You got a lot of airtime battling there for that number 2 spot, and you're gonna come home in P number 3. Who makes it all possible for you?
Oh yeah, I just gotta thank Robbie and Dustin and Phil for giving us a great place to race. And I know it was maybe a little boring this week for you guys, maybe with the racing getting spread out a little bit, but just gotta thank you guys for a good broadcast every week. Y'all do a great job. And Circuit World, Dante Curtis Designs, Julius C Speed Shop. Yep, that should be about it.
Well, congratulations, Dustin. We thank you, or Dante, we thank you for your time talking to us, and hopefully we'll see you next week out there at Oxford, and maybe a couple spots better up on the podium.
Hope so. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
There you go. Dante Curtis going to come home in P number 3 and rewind out our Zoo Fab Garage post-race show. Kelly, is the dust is settling, the sun is setting on another great night of racing for the Renu Sealcoating Late Model Stock Tour. I thought wasn't really sure what to think when we came into this to have a little bit of a road course race action, and I think it was a smashing success.
Oh yeah, this race was a ton of fun. Looked like a lot of fun for the drivers. We already have some of them in the chat on their Discord saying that they had a blast with this race. I mean, Matt Hackathorn, we didn't get to talk to him, but he said he had too much fun with this race. So I would expect to see another road course up on the schedule for the next time we bring these late model stocks out of the garage.
I would hope so. As we get ready to head into next week's race, we take a look at the finishing order here on your screen. You can find out where your favorite driver has finished here this evening. And Kelly, we will look forward after tonight to the Oxford Plains Speedway. And you heard Guillaume talk about it, the everything that's going on. 2-3 wide the racing coming up here, but the bigger picture for next week's race, and there is still time for you out there watching, drivers, fans, anybody that wants to, is next Monday night. It is the Kendall Hacker Memorial, as the NSRL stands together honoring Kendall Hacker, one of our own. Bryan Hacker, a good friend of mine and the racer here on North-South Racing League, and his wife experienced an unimaginable loss when their daughter Kendall passed away during the childbirth due to rare delivery complications. Though she was healthy, a tragic and unforeseen circumstance took her from them way too soon. In her memory, they're coming together for a race next Monday night to raise funds for causes that help families like the Hackers in time of need. So we invite you all to join us next Monday, March 31st, for the Kendall Hacker Memorial at the Oxford Plains Speedway to take part in a special fundraiser to support Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep portraits and organizations that provide remembrance photography for grieving families, as well as other charities that have helped the Hacker family in their time of grief. How can you support? Well, you can enter the waffle. They're selling laps 0 through 125 to guess how many laps Bryan Hacker will lead that night. Entry details, well, it's $5 a lap, or you can get 5 laps for $20. Remember, all this going to charity, and pot will split 25% to the person who guesses correctly on how many laps Hacker leads. 75% of the funds going to the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep organization, other charities of the Hackers' choosing. You can reach on out to the North-South Racing League's Facebook page for more information on this and how to get involved. You get your laps purchased, you can head on over there. You can also reach out to Robbie Clavey or Philip Martin on Facebook. That is in 1 week's time, but we would also like to thank Renu Sealcoating for being our title sponsor this season. Like they said, 75 years of combined experience of seal coating, whether it's your driveway, your mega store parking lot, or anything in between. They can get you all covered up. It's Renu Seal Coating at 608-576-7897. I'd like to thank Mad Plowing, a proud sponsor of the NSRL. And Mad Plowing is gearing up for springtime. Whether you need spring cleanups, whether you need someone to service your lawn all summer long, Mad Plowing can get it done. And they do it fast, and they will show you the meaning of speed. You can get a hold of them at 608-217-3528. Are you in the need for some graphics for your next event or schedule? Well, RC2 Graphic Solutions. They can make it happen with professional looking graphics for your next event schedules or Victory Lane photos. Contact Robbie today at rc2graphicsolutions@gmail.com. RC2 Graphic Solutions, your events, our designs. Wizards Designs, the proud sponsor of our championship trophies here at the NSRL, and they can make your project come to life. Wizards Designs is locally and operated out of North Carolina. You can contact David Wachowski at davidwachowski@yahoo.com. Check out all his projects at Witco23. That's facebook.com/Witco, WITKO23. And you can find out more information. Send them a message there. They got some great looking Designs. How about Austin Designs? Speaking of designs, Austin Designs make your car look really great, whether it's on the back of a hook or, well, out in front or any point in between. You get noticed on the broadcast and out on the racetrack with an Austin Designs. It's an A+ design. I'd also like to thank Zoo Fab Garage, the proud sponsor of our 2025 post-race show. And Zoo Fab Garage is located in Tennessee. Reach on out to Dustin Shepard for your next tune-up. Whether it's your sport car, whether it's your daily driver, they can get you tuned up and get the maximum performance for your race car. Well, Kelly, another great night into the books. We'll jump on that plane tomorrow morning and head back home to, well, you'll head back home to Canada, I'll head back to the States, but we will meet in Oxford Plains in 1 week's time. What's your thoughts headed into Oxford?
Well, I have always told you that while you didn't enjoy Oxford as a league administrator, I've always loved Oxford as a commentator because it is a fiery track. It is a track where you can't really pass clean. You're gonna have to move the other guy. It's gonna be rough, tight, close racing. There's gonna be traffic everywhere, as a few of the other drivers alluded to, and it's just a ton of fun. And maybe we should also start taking bets to see if someone's gonna flip off one of those dirt mounds on the infield.
We will have to wait and see. And that's always, I will say, at least during practice, we'll see that.
Oh, of course, someone's going to hit it intentionally in practice. People are going to be seeing how far they can fly.
That they will. But, man, we thank you for coming along with us. We thank you, the viewer, for make sure you hit that thumbs up here on this video. That's not for myself or Kelly. God knows I would get the thumbs down. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let these drivers know that you appreciate their efforts that they put on here tonight as we head back to the left-handed ovals as we'll kick off next week with the Kendall Hacker Memorial. We hope you will join us. Please think about reaching on out to North-South Racing League and find out how you can help and be a part of the race next week. But until then, we hope to see you in turn number 3. Good night, everybody.